Limited entry well tool and models. This example illustrates the use of the limited entry well analysis tool and the creation of analytical and numerical models from parameter estimates obtained from the analysis tool. Hold the Shift key and click on Extract in the control panel. Double-click on the loglog plot title bar to maximize. Access analysis tools from the ribbon at the top. In the Analysis Tools dialog, select Limited Entry as the well model. Click OK to update the analysis tools on the loglog plot. Click on Show Tool Parameters in the plot options to view the parameter values while adjusting the lines. Match the wellbore storage line to the early portion of the data, and the wellbore storage coefficient will be updated in the Tool Parameters dialog. The Limited Entry Well Analysis tool consists of 3 line segments that control 3 model parameters: KZ over KR, or vertical anisotropy ratio, HW, or perforation length, and H, or net pay. When adjusting tools, the choice is available to the user to lock one or both of the latter parameters. With only HW checked, moving either the early or the final radial flow stabilization lines will only adjust HW while H will remain fixed. Moving the final radial flow line also affects KZ over KR and K. KZ over KR is modified to preserve the location of the negative half-unit slopeline segment on the plot in relation to the 2 radial flow stabilization lines. With only H checked, HW will remain fixed when adjusting either of the radial flow stabilization lines. Moving either of these stabilization lines will also update KZ over KR and K. Note that adjusting the final radial flow stabilization line also affects the location of the early radial flow stabilization line in this context. This is a consequence of preserving the value of HW. When both H and HW are checked, moving the early radial flow stabilization line only updates the value of HW. Moving the final radial flow stabilization line, however, updates all tool parameters. When neither of the parameters is checked, it is not possible to move the 2 stabilization lines on the loglog plot. In all instances, moving the negative half-unit slope line only updates KZ over KR. Once a satisfactory match of the tool to the data is obtained, close the Tool Parameters window and restore the loglog plot. Click on Analytical in the control panel, accept the model parameters, which have been populated from Tool Parameters, and generate the model. A good match is obtained between the model and data. Rename the current analysis as Analytical. Duplicate the current analysis and call it Numerical. Click on Numerical in the control panel. Click on Reset from Analytical to copy the analytical model parameters and generate the model. Maximize the 3D plot. Increase the vertical gain and decrease the grid opacity. Zoom in close to the well. A partially perforated well can be observed. Switch to 2D XY view. Click on Edit Polylines and create a polyline passing through the well. Close the dialog. Under the 2D XZ view option, select polyline number 1. Use the mouse scroll wheel to zoom in close to the grid around the well. Click on the play button to play back through the pressure fields at different times. This concludes the video on limited entry well tool and models.